Hi Lindy, today I'm going to have a discussion with you about the different values at Matapihi and about tikanga Māori and what it means and everything like that. Okay, so first I'm going to discuss tikanga Māori. Tikanga Māori is usually seen as the Māori way of doing things, and it's expressed in different centres and it has a lot of different meanings, but it's usually the correct way of doing a certain method or a teaching experience or a teaching style, and it can be applied differently for each person. And I was just going to ask you how tikanga Māori is expressed at Matapihi. Is it a value here that's
Oh,
important?
absolutely. It's highly important, and it's something that it's in our conscious thinking and our practice. Basically, every minute of every hour of every day, we have whānau in our community, and we have a broad range of families. So we need to regard them with the utmost respect, and to know that they're welcomed and they're appreciated. When they walk through the door, do they feel, how comfortable do they feel? Are they feeling accepted and welcomed? And, so we really focus on welcoming and building that warm relationship with our whānau.
Yeah, I can definitely see the importance there and everything, and I think it's important to have that different value in your centre and stuff because it brings everyone closer together as well. And the next thing I'm going to talk about is different relationship building values. So I chose manaakitanga and whanaungatanga. And manaakitanga, I did some research and I found out that it means caring for one another and expressing that aroha love for one another and just treating each other the way you want to be respected. And I found out the definition for manaakitanga, and mana means, to break it down, mana means self-worth, then aki means how self-worth is generated, and then tanga means how you treat others how you'd like to be respected yourself, treat others how you'd like to be treated yourself. And so I think that just helps me to see the definition brought together. And whanaungatanga means caring for others even though you're not particularly blood related, so just treating them like family members, and just this kind of goes hand in hand with manaakitanga, so sharing that respect for each other as if they're your family, and just expressing that love really, and make sure that you're always aware of others around you and their what they're interested in, and just expressing your interests and stuff with each other. So yeah, how do these values take place in your centre?
Well, first of all, that's wonderful forward thinking, Venetia, and good on you for researching that, because as a teacher you want to pursue that, you want to find out more about the relationships, how we can build on those, how we can know more about them, even though we might not be related to a person. But I also want to congratulate you for mentioning that, to treat others with respect and how you want to be treated, because that's something that I personally feel is so vital, just to how we get through our day and how we treat people and how we want to be treated. And it has a flow-on effect as well, and I think that's a really great quality to have, a great characteristic. But obviously we try to learn more about how we can best enrich our relationships with Māori whānau, and one of the ways that we do that is by visiting our local marae. That really puts us in touch with people at the core of how they work on their communication, how they work on their relationships, how they treat others, how they treat their mokopuna, the tamariki, how they treat aunties and kaumātua. And so we can see that firsthand. We get a very good, a clear visual, if you like, of how people respond to each other within the context of a Māori marae. And then we can transfer some of that what we've seen and what we've heard, we can transfer some of that just in our conversations, just very casually and informally. In the whare kai, for example, that might be a time for us to just engage into some lovely conversation. It's all about just talking, building up those relationships through trusting, being respectful, and I think if it comes from the heart, I think people know generally that, okay, you're interested in me, you want to know a little bit about me and about my culture, and I'm wanting to help you and guide you and support you. And of course a lot of our parents are very much in that supportive role and guiding role. Not very many of our families speak Māori, but that's okay. They still have a sense of culture, and we can all learn from them. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Okay, so I've done that. And I was going to just ask you about Te Reo Māori. So lately I've been learning the colours and the numbers, and I've set up some pages on my profile on Mahara regarding the waiata here.
Oh,
So I
great.
think that's important to learn because it's a part of this place and the area and everything, and it has its own value in this situation. And I was just going to ask you what other things you think are important, like different Māori terms to learn here. Would it be the greetings that are quite important to learn?
Absolutely, the greetings, but I think having the rituals
Yeah, the rituals.
really sets it up daily for you to use your te reo in a sort of, it can be spontaneous or it can be in a more formal way. Of course, when we do our rituals, it's quite formal, but then that helps us to use it and to use it in the right context and to support each other to with pronunciation, because that's very, very important. So you've got to make sure you kind of practice to get it right. But if you don't get it right, that's okay too, because at least you're trying and people can see that you're doing the best that you can. So rituals, but it's also kind of nice to do it just out on the ground in a very casual way. We have lots of te reo little messages all around in the kindergarten, so just have a look at where you are, have a look at the environment, what kind of words do you think you might be able to use. There might be some wording on the wall. You might even just start to do a little count in Māori or sing a little waiata. Just as long as you're feeling relaxed about it, and just have a go and just keep on repeating. Start small, just few little words. We can support you every way we can, and you might be able to teach us some new words. In fact, you probably will, so we'll be looking forward to learning from you as well.
Thank you.
So I think learning from each other is
it's such a broad
great.
language, and just we're working on the pronunciation as well, because I think that you want to do the best that you can when you talk to the parents and make sure that the children pick up the way you're saying it too, so they know how to do it correctly. And I've seen all your little listings around the kindergarten and stuff at Matapi. And
oh, that's great. Very observant.
yeah, it's good to pick up those little things the more you're around.
Good on you.
And
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, so thank you for that. Share one aspect you find challenging in your setting. Well, right now I reckon that I need to work on just getting to know all the children more, because I've only here for Tuesday and Friday, and even though I babysit a couple of them, I just definitely want to, because today I've been trying to learn all the names, but I just need to make it stick in my head more, because it just becomes more personal with them, and you just learn more about them and their differences and their personality traits, because they're also different from each other, and it's good to keep an open mind and stuff, because they've all come from such different backgrounds and ethnicities and everything like that, and you never stop learning, I guess, with those kind of people, and just throughout your whole life, like it's always, and like just learning them when they're little kids and stuff, like it's just, it's an important trait. So is there any feedback that you would like me to improve on?
Well, I could just, I'll just give you a couple of tips about that, and it's all about developing that relationship, and getting to know. I'll tell you a little trick. When you're out on the floor and you're listening and you hear what's going on, you get an idea. You just get lots of little tips on what the children are interested in, so you can approach that and engage in that conversation by having an interest with that child. For example, one of the children might be interested in flowers, and so you know that child's interested in flowers. So make a connection with the name, with the child's interest. It kind of comes hand in hand. So, you know this particular boy, he loves flowers, he loves nature. So then you can come at them and with an opening to a conversation about, oh, look, I thought of you the other day because I saw some beautiful flowers and I thought you might like them, and I just wondered if you knew what they were called, and then just you could start into it like that. And it's a lovely way just to make that connection with a name, with an interest. That kind of,
really good way to do it, actually.
I think that helps me, and it might help you. It's one of the ways that would possibly help you. But I think you're doing really well so far in terms of your building up your relationships. I can see children approaching you and wanting to sit with you, and so they're obviously feeling comfortable and learning to trust you, but it does take time.
It does take time, and I can see all the relationship and trust that they have in all your teachers as well. And I know that it takes a lot of time and patience and stuff, because first they need to know your name and then they just learn a bit about you, just like vice versa then.
It is a little bit more challenging for you, Venetia,
Yeah.
because you're here for the 2 days and we have our two
Yeah.
different groups, so you've actually got 50 children's names.
Yeah, and they swap
try
over,
and-
so it's a whole new bunch.
Yeah,
and
to try
some
and
go away.
remember. And I think you're doing really well. And I think it's okay to say, look, I've forgotten his name.
Yeah.
Or you can even say to the children, now, what was your name again?
Yeah.
I've forgotten your name.
Yeah,
And to
I've
say
been
it in
doing
a playful way, just have fun with it and be playful and make it even a game. And they'll go, oh, I'm not telling you. And then, oh, I wonder if I could guess. And, just make it fun. And if you can make it
They're
fun.
really nice and open as
Yeah.
well. They just go, I'm this name, and then I just make sure that they know my name.
Yeah.
So it just helps like expressing it, because it does take time, and they do
That's
that
good.
swap over and stuff.
It's about noticing them,
Yeah.
and everybody wants to be noticed. They want
Yeah.
to be validated in their existence and in every day. And so one of our jobs is to make sure that every child that comes every day is acknowledged in some way or another. That you know that when you're looking at them, you're making that eye contact and you're saying, hello, I see you, you're important to me, and I'm glad you're here,
Yeah.
kind of thing. And then it's amazing, everything else just flows from
Everything
there.
flows out,
But you're
yeah.
going great, Venetia, you
Thank
really
you.
are.
Okay, and the last one is about seek feedback from mentor about just the overall practice and any other places that I might need support at all as the term goes along.
Okay, well, it's still very early days, and
ideas, yeah.
but already that I can see that you do have a sense of place.
Yeah.
You're very softly spoken, and you're very calming, and I think I can see you listening to the children. So I think that's kind of your individual approach, and I think you'll probably always have that
Yeah.
way about you, and which I think is great because it creates a really good balance of for a teaching team. I just think they're building on the relationships is really important. And, asking questions. The staff have been giving me great feedback about you doing that. So, that's really great. And I just think just be open with your communication and greeting everybody to start your day. Those are big things. I can't stress that enough.
Yeah, definitely.
And just keep on going like you're going because you had a great start and we love having you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
You're welcome.